everyone, welcome to AMC Town Square. I am Chasing Cinema, joined by Josh Bell of JoshBellHatesEverything.com and Las Vegas Weekly. Today, we are going to be reviewing Robert De Niro's Passion Project, something he's been supposedly working on for 18, 20 years.
Is it that long, really?
Is it that long? 13 years? 10 years?
No, it's like 6 years.
Well, he should have taken more time to work on it, I'll say. But the comedian, we have Harvey Keitel. We got appearances from Billy Crystal, Hannibal Burgess. We have Gilbert Gottfried, who doesn't have any talking lines. This is the only first person to come to my head. We have Leslie Mann, who I'm a big fan of. Danny DeVito, thank you very much. A lot of people. Pretty much, if you're from New York and you're kind of in that like circle, you're in this circle. But basically, Robert De Niro does this passion project. What did you feel about the comedian?
I don't know where the passion was in this passion project. I mean, I think that's the thing that we think about De Niro these days, is that he just kind of like sleepwalks through all these movies. Anyone who's
coming off the worst movie, which I argue with like the worst movie I've ever seen, with Dirty Grandpa.
And I think there are worse movies than Dirty Grandpa.
I don't.
And to me, this was close to Dirty Grandpa levels of bad. Yeah, but I think that's the thing, is that like you go into Dirty Grandpa, you're like, all right, whatever. This is a crappy movie that he signed on to because they paid him, and he just works. He just does anything that anyone wants him to do. There's these terrible thrillers, and he just kind of glides through everything like he's barely even there. But then you get to a movie like this that's supposedly the passion project or whatever. Like, he actually cared. He wanted to make this movie. He worked to get it made. And yet his presence is the same as it is in any of those other movies, where it looks like he's barely there. He's barely trying. He doesn't give any depth to the character. And not that the material is great. It's not like, oh, well, he failed to rise to this great material or whatever. But I definitely don't see the spark in this movie or this character.
It was like they put a bunch of scenes they shot in a shotgun and just shot it on a wall, and that's how it kind of came out, because this movie felt like it had no editing done. Like, it is just a mess. It's like, I see Robert De Niro like writing down ideas for scenes, and they just kind of shot them, and they're like, all right, well, I guess they go in this order. And there's like scenes that don't need to be there, and the problem with it, and I think it again goes back to editing, but also just the lack of vision. Like, this movie has no vision. It has no idea where it's going. It doesn't know what it wants its focus to be on. It's just all over the place. I forgot what I was going to say now. But also, this movie's about a stand-up comedian, and nothing is funny.
No,
and that's it. And I think
so not funny.
There's no rhythm.
Right.
Like, there's no beat to get in the movie. You're not sure exactly what the scene's like tone is supposed to be. Are you supposed to be laughing with the audience? Are you supposed to be like, wow, this guy's a jerk. He's not funny. He's appalling. And, you know, he's real raunchy, but then like he makes a song about poopy.
Oh,
like,
God,
I mean, how do you
God.
kind of like gauge this? Not only performance, but I mean like the idea that they want, like every scene I think is just people going like, should I be laughing? Is this supposed to be funny? Like, how are we supposed to be feeling? Like, we're all trying to gauge every scene, because every scene is just so just has no rhythm, has no beat.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the movie wants you to think that this is funny. I mean, within the context of the movie, people are laughing. They think this guy is hilarious and he's supposed to be this legend, and all the other comedians who make these cameos talk about like, oh my God, it's Jackie Burke. Wow, I'm so impressed. I'm so amazed to be in his presence. Like he's, you know, George Carlin or something like that. And yet every time he opens his mouth and says something that's supposed to be funny, and you see all these people cracking up, it's not funny at all. And not only have they like misjudged what is funny coming from his mouth, but the idea that these are supposed to be subversive or risky, you know, things that are taking on authority that people will be shocked by. And none of it is that way. I mean, he sings about poopy literally for like 4 minutes or something.
He tells the producer to screw off.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it's like he's some sort of bold truth teller or whatever, and he's not. And De Niro doesn't seem comfortable at all on stage or doing any of the things that a real experienced legendary comedian would be doing. And I mean, it's hard to get that. Even a movie like Funny People that stars actual comedians sometimes is a bit awkward.
Did you like Funny People? I didn't like Funny People.
I liked parts of Funny People. I think Funny People is like 4 movies in one, and maybe like 2 of them work and 2 of them don't. But
like Funny People, this movie has like 20 different endings, and it just keeps going and going and
Although
going.
it's still like probably like half an hour, 40 minutes shorter than Funny People. Thank goodness.
Funny People was really long. But I mean, this movie felt like eternity. And they open a lot of doors that they never go back to.
Right.
And there's just a lot of things you're like, why is this in the movie? But I just couldn't gauge the scenes. I think that was what bothered me like the most. Like the wedding scene when he's all there talking. You have one girl laughing. You have everyone else kind of shocked. You have this person who I don't know if they're laughing or I don't know if they're like on board, and it's just really hard to kind of gauge. But like I said, the jokes aren't funny. And you had told me that there's like Jeffrey Ross.
Right, is one of the screenwriters.
Like one of the king of roasts is a part of this. And why is he not delivering jokes? Like why does this movie not have I mean you have Hannibal Buress, you have Gilbert Gottfried, you have Billy Crystal. Why does this movie not make us laugh? And like I think that's the most shocking thing.
That is the problem. We didn't even mention the romance, which is completely also misguided with Leslie Mann.
Leslie Mann is the only good thing in this movie.
She's trying. She's giving it everything. She's like the opposite of De Niro in this movie, where she's like
showing
really
up every
present,
day.
and he's just like checked out. And they're totally mismatched, and the story never really makes a good case for why are they together, why do they care about each other, and then why did they break up. Either way, it just sort of feels very random.
And then it ends in like one of the most like cliche, like, oh, that's what happens.
Not
good.
No,
not good.
I would say the worst movie that we're talking about here this week. Yeah, not ever, just this week.
Yeah,
the worst movie of the week.
Better than Bye Bye Man.
Better than Bye. This is our standard for all movies. Our standard
is Bye Bye Man, and then I'm going to Dirty Grandpa.
I would say it is better than both of those movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is better.
But I would in no way recommend, even if you love Robert De Niro. In fact, if you love Robert De Niro,
even though Bye Bye Man gets pretty funny. Bye Bye Man made me laugh more than this movie.
Yeah, go see. If you love Robert De Niro, go see the Bye Bye Man.
Yeah, because you'll laugh more.
Don't see this movie.
Anyway, we also reviewed Rings, the third installment in the Ring franchise. The Space Between Us, the new film from STX Entertainment, and Patterson, the new Jim Jarmusch film. So make sure to go click that white eye right above Mr. Josh Bell's head. If you want to check out more of his work, check out joshbellhateseverything.com or pick up the Las Vegas Weekly, which is all around this city. I am Chasing Cinema, the film lovers website.